carry on still.
Yeah, so that was where we were after that. And well, Saya ended up coming back when we realized that she couldn't go um get a lift or anything. So I'm inside and I'm trying to wrap it up with Sybil because she kept talking to me and I needed to think of other solutions. So I was like, well, do I stay here and wait with you while you go get the email? And she was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I need to know what I can do because am I able to
You
leave
want to
this area? Are
do?
you letting us through or not? And she was like, okay. And she goes get the email. And so I walk away hoping she would just leave us alone and we'd be done. I take our luggage. I think Saya, you came back at that point when I was walking away. And I was trying to email her manager to see what's going on. Something told me, and I was just like, there has to be a printer in this building. There's printed papers on your desk. There's printed papers all over the place, all
Yeah,
over the world.
it
There's
really
no
doesn't
way,
make
there's
sense.
no, yeah, it doesn't make sense. In an office building anywhere, everybody has a printer. This just doesn't make sense. It's a place of business. So I went over to the Delta desk. I didn't know it was the Delta desk until I got there and the lady told me, this is Delta. We're different. And she was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And she gave me a little card that had an email on it and
Yeah.
was like, okay, girl, email it here. And I'm going to run and go get it. And I'm going to come out this door. And I was like, okay, bet. And I went back and I was like, she's going to print it. So I emailed it to her, praying that I had service and data. Because I think you, Kasaya, you didn't have service and data or something. You didn't
Yeah.
have something.
It was like going
And I
slow.
wasn't, yeah, and I wasn't able to email her manager for some reason. Gmail was acting up, which I'm about to uninstall that app. But Gmail was like, you can't send email until I attach the document. Can't send email until attach
Ah,
document. Can't send email until attach. And I did it. I tried to send
you
it three
don't get
times.
no sleep because of me.
They were like, you need to attach the document. Attach, please wait while the document is loading. I was like, oh my gosh, this doesn't work. So I went into Apple Mail and sent an email to the other lady, the second lady. And it sent so fast. And I was like, wow, I must just start using this email because Gmail failed me in my most dire moment. And before I knew it, she was coming back out. And I was like, oh, that was fast. Like, oh my God, God, thank you so much for answering my prayer. She came out so fast. She ran out with the paper and she was like, all right, y'all have a good day. And I looked at it and I said, let me check and see what's here. And there's only one PCR test. And I was like, man, I really hated to bother her again. I was like, man,
Yeah.
this is only one of the two. And she was like, okay. And so she called somebody, was like, how many papers came out? And they were like, I have 4 papers. And she was like, okay. And she ran back downstairs to get the
Right.
other
I was
PCR.
like, thank you so
I could not,
much.
I didn't know how to express my gratitude to her because that was just too much stress in the morning,
Right.
first thing at the beginning of our trip.
Right. As soon as
And
we
so,
entered the airport, to,
yeah,
to meet that
just walked it.
obstacle was like, what's today going to be
Right.
like?
I remember when you said, I think to like Sybil, you were like, so what do? We just can't board or something you said, or something about rescheduling. And my heart was just breaking. I was like, don't give in yet. No, we're gonna question her until she give in. Like, I know she has a printer, she's lying. And that's when I was like starting to ask her, like, so what can we do? Please exhaust, because I was just like, this can't be, no, this is not true. Cannot be happening.
This
So
cannot be it.
eventually we go through. So at this point, we have all this stuff. We have a cart to push and bags on
Yeah, we
top
have
of
2
it.
cards with 3 checked. Oh, wait. I'm so glad that they checked the bags there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So then we had just carts with just our carry-on stuff. But our carry-on stuff was so heavy for some reason. It
it
was
was
like
heavy.
extremely heavy. But we were able to wagon that over to like the other area. And at first we were the first ones there. There was nobody else over there. But then he was like, you gotta put the cart over there or something. And I was like, what? I can't hear you. And he just was
Right?
like speaking, I don't know. People need to speak clearly at all times. I don't understand what's wrong with people. I
They
just
don't.
don't get it. They don't speak
I know.
clearly. They don't care.
Nope.
So anyway, I moved the cart over there, and by then, like 30 people had gotten in line for the security check,
And
and that like a lot because that means
yeah,
that's 30 other people that's gonna get their belongings out in the buckets and push those through and all this other stuff.
and people were just. I was falling over, dropping stuff after I took stuff out of the. First of all, it was hard for me to get it off the cart to push. It was just hard in general. And people were
Yeah.
just rude. They're just walking around me, walking into me, walking around me, looking at me, and like, the people don't have any sense of, oh, well, let me give her a second to get her life together and all this stuff. They just, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Through the doors any faster. Whatever. I'm right behind you. So we get
Right.
to the what's it called, to security check, And
The TFA.
I'm so frazzled from earlier that I'm putting my stuff on the belt and I just leave. I
She
leave
sure does.
the car.
She leaves,
left
and I'm just like, what are these 20 buckets here of stuff? And
I
then
had so much
like,
stuff.
I didn't know what was going on because I have no idea what's going on because I was like, those buckets are mine, so I know whose buckets they were. And then someone behind me is like, move your stuff or something like that. And I look,
He's
and I was
lucky
like,
I wasn't
I
there,
don't know whose stuff
honestly.
this is. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm so frazzled for the other thing. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't go off on people no more. So that was the second thought that I had because I was going to turn around and smack him in the face because who are you talking to at 6 in the morning? But I was like, not
Yeah.
today. I was like, not today. Because if I go off, something else crazy is going to happen later on today. And it's going to be like, see, you went off on that person. That's what happens when you do that nonsense stuff. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I went and looked and it was your stuff. And I was like, oh, she just left all her stuff here. And the other security lady, she didn't say nothing. She just standing there with her conveyor belt. And I was like, okay. So I started moving the other stuff down. And then there's like a lady with like a stroller or something that is, I don't know where she came from, but she was behind me. She was beside me at first. So I thought she was in another line, but apparently she was breaking down her stroller to put in this line or something like that. So the
You gotta put the
guy,
stroller on the belt?
I guess so. I don't know. She did have her stroller in the belt. But the guy that was like, moving the stuff is he was like talking to her. I don't know if they were together or not. I have no idea. They're kind of friendly or whatever. So, but I don't think that they knew each other. It was weird. But she started helping me to push the stuff down. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then so after I moved all 20 buckets, I was like, all right, do I just come through here now?
I had on the Apple Watch, and I think that when I walked out and looked at the person's monitor after I left, I think I saw that they saw that there was metal here, and they just didn't say anything, and I didn't say anything either. I think she was busy, and she looked at it and then was like looking around for whose it was, and she didn't know. So, and I was like, oh, you know, she's looking for. I didn't know. I didn't realize that I had an Apple Watch at the time. I was just like, what's on my wrist? And I was just watching her look around. Anyway, I got my stuff off the belt because on the other side of the belt, there's a conveyor belt that pushes stuff through. So I forgot that the first side didn't have one. But I'm getting my stuff and getting my sister's stuff and all this stuff. And then Saya comes out, getting her stuff. And that's when I realized just how much stuff we had. And after unpacking it and repacking it, it was like, oh, we have so much stuff.
Yeah, at that point, that's when I threw away my coat and like some extra belts. I was just like, I don't have time for this. Why do I have so much stuff?
Yeah.
And
after repacking
I
4
don't know
times.
what's in there, but I'm gonna downsize to one bag.
What were we saying? Okay.
Throwing
So
away
after
stuff.
that,
And then we went back to
Eric
we
Canada,
went
so
to land the plane. We went to board the plane. the plane. Platform.
어? 우리 지금 찍고 있는 천천히 아니 여기 우리 플랫폼 플랫폼 우리 지금 찍
I got too much stuff. I got too much stuff. Then we sat down for a little while. Then they finally was like, okay, time to get on the plane. And
I don't remember that. I think I blanked. Oh, it was pretty quick. That's why I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, we didn't wait long because we got there. We got there like right in time, like 10 minutes before. At first, we were supposed to have an extra like 2 hours to sit there because we got there so early. But since everything happened and it took an hour to work with Imbecile and the other girl.
Imbecile and Sybil.
It took so long to work with them, so we got there literally at like 8 or like 7:50. I think they said they're gonna start calling people.
I think it was 7:37.
The board. Yeah. Do you think it was very specific?
I know. I remember looking at it like, oh, we're just in time.
Okay,
and
yeah, because they were like, we're calling at 7:50. You gotta be there. And
I was like, she comes over at like 7:50, marching over with her sidekick, Mojo Jojo, and they go to the front to check us in. And she's like, I get there first. I think I moved first, and I got to the line. And she was like, "Where's your sister? Where's your sister? Where's Cassia?" And I was like, "She's in line." Like, why would I? What do you mean? And I left because I was waiting for Saya in the corridor, but like, leave me alone. It's too early, and I don't like you. So I get on the plane. I load my stuff up, which wasn't that bad, and I have this coat. So I brought a coat all the way from Atlanta in my arms, a humongous winter coat.
Wool gray pea coat that goes down to your knees.
it's perfect for the weather that I'm expecting, but I didn't pack it because I was like, I'm gonna wear it in the morning, and it was not
Yeah,
cold enough
like
to wear.
somebody told me it was already cold, but Incheon is
Yeah,
not cold. Maybe Seoul is already cold, but Incheon's hot.
Seoul's not cold either, but everything was pretty warm. So I'm holding this coat, and I put everything up on the bin, and I'm still holding this coat. I sit down, and we sit down eventually. I'm pretty sure walking through the aisle, I was hitting people with my bag, but I didn't have time to really apologize because I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to say sorry. So I was like,
Getting your
boom,
way in, huh?
boom, boom,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
sat down. And then Saya sat down, and then we flot.
Wow.
We flew
Yeah.
for 2 hours
Flew
to
for 2
Canada.
hours. Yeah.
It was pretty uneventful. I think we dozed for 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. I just remember getting off and like my stuff dropping all the time. And me being like, I'm about to leave this projector in the corridor.
Yeah, the projector was just loose, and the strap wasn't wide enough to fit over the bag thing.
I'm gonna put it in the big suitcase this time and take something out of the big suitcase and throw it away.
Yeah. So we land in Canada, and we sit down after lugging our stuff forever. It wasn't that long, but just lugging stuff is a lot. So we sit down, and I'm like, I'm hungry because this morning I think I had 3 bites of pizza, and then I dealt with all that stress, and I was like, I want food.
Yeah, I didn't eat anything. So I think that's what made me like really angry and really weak. Carrying that stuff around. I was like, this wasn't this heavy earlier. And now it's just like 30 times
because you had
heavier.
excitement in your veins. We were boarding again to go to Korea. I still had this sense of something can go wrong at any minute.
Me too. I was like,
and so
I thought that when we got to, like, there would come a point where it's like, oh, now it's real. We're going to Korea and things like that.
Yeah.
But at every point, I was like, I'm about to get deported back. For some reason, at every moment.
Every time someone asked me what I had and what I needed, I just was traumatized from that morning with Sybil, the imbecile. And I just thought that everything was going to go crashing down. And so the guy asked me, he was like, okay, well, yeah. He was like, do you have your vaccine card? And I was like, no, I'm planning to quarantine. And he was like, okay. And then he was like, he was just like this, and he was like, all right, and started notating something. And then he was like, you have your KETA? Yes. Oh, no. He asked about my visa. And I was like, no, I have the KETA. And he was like, KETA? And I was like, yes, my KETA, it's required. I have that. No visa.
Come on,
KETA.
Canada.
Yes. And then he was like, okay. You know, you have your PCR test. And I was like, he printed PCR test. And he read it, looked at it, and was like, okay, looking for the date, because I was also scared that they were not going to accept the date, even though we were still in Canada, so it should have been fine. So I was like, okay. And then he let me through. He was like, okay, go ahead. So I went through and I boarded. And then I looked back. Saya was still in line. And you were being held up a little bit longer than I was. So I was like, I got through. She didn't get through.
I don't remember what. I think the girl checked me first. I don't remember what she asked me for. But then she was like, this lady over here will further check your documents or something. And I was like, further check what? I only have 3 things. I just told you I have all of them. So I don't know what it was. So the other lady, she asked me whatever. I don't remember. And then I walked away. And then that's when like I started dropping stuff. And my boarding pass must have dropped in the midst of all that after she checked it. Either she checked it and didn't give it. She had to have given it back to me. But
why?
Somewhere between her and on the corridor, I don't know where it went.
Yeah, because you got up to the air hostess and she asked for it again.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know.
For some reason.
Here's the electric one. I think she's gonna tell me where my seat was, is what she was gonna do, whatever. But I was just like, it's 26J. I have no idea. Like, this is the old one. Yeah. But I was like, finally sit down. I can put our bags in the top thing. And at first I remember that nobody was sitting next to us. And so I was like, yes. But then I checked the seat map and somebody booked that seat. So I was like, But then after that, nobody came. So it was like, whatever. We had 3 seats on the plane.
That was such a blessing because I had that fracking coat and there were other bags and stuff. I just need space to put things down because I don't want to put them away. It's going to be nearby. So we had an extra seat to put stuff in. So after that, we flot.
414. 14 hours?
14 hours. Sitting
It's like
down
13 and
straight.
something, right?
13:44.
What did we watch? We watched Cars 3.
In English. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I have a chance to meet
In
Ball.
Korean.
It was really nice in Korean. It was
It's
cute.
funny.
They did some good voiceovers for that.
That was only in like the last 8 hours though that we watched those movies.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened before that.
I think we tried to sleep at first and it wasn't working, and then they woke us up for different meals and drinks and stuff.
Oh,
The flight
yeah.
was honest. I wish I had more.
But yeah, the
The guy
hostess
on the aisle
were
next
really
to
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, he had his whole row to himself.
He had the whole row to himself and he was asleep like across all 3 seats. I was like, must be nice.
Mashigata.
Mashkatan. Okay, so 16 hours later, or 14, whatever. I keep saying 16, but that's the total flight time and not the Korea flight time. To Korea, 14 hours later, we get off. And this is where I also think they're just gonna be like, you can't go in. Even though we're here, I was still riddled with anxiety. So
Yeah.
I get off. We both get off and we go into the first line. So there's the first line, which has your health declaration form and your travel intentions or something outside the door.
Your health declaration, your customs form, and like who you are or something. Like where you going.
Now, before we landed, this lady gave us a card, some sheets of paper that state. What was the long one?
Customs.
Oh, the customs
Clear
form.
your stuff that
And
you have.
Yeah, and 2 of the travel